Steve Ursig, after his loss of the weekend via decision to Brandon Moreno in the main event, drops one spot in the flyweight rankings to number 9 position. Ursig started his UFC career 3-0, and since getting that title shot, he's been 0-3, losing to Pantoja, Kai Kara-France, and Brandon Moreno. Drew Dober looking to return in July, depending on what his doctors say about his injured finger. For the Jack Della Maddalena versus Belal Muhammad title fight May 10th in Montreal, Carlos Prates is picking Belal Muhammad to win, and he doesn't think it's going to be a particularly hard fight for him.
I think Belal gonna win, you know. The Jack Della Maddalena looks a good fighter, but he fought like Kevin Holland, like really good guys, you know, on the rank. He fought one time Kevin Holland, and he won by split decision. And then he fought another guy, I don't remember the name. He even is not anymore in UFC. Yeah. And then he fought Gilbert Burns, and he was lost in the fight, you know. And on the last minute, he won the fight. Okay, it's good, but he fought only his good wins against Gilbert Burns, you know. Yeah. And Belal Muhammad have been beating a lot of guys really good. So I don't know. I would like to see Jack Della Maddalena as a champ because he's striker, you know. Yeah. And things like that. But I think Belal Muhammad gonna win. Like no, it's not gonna be a hard fight.
Prates says he used to cut around like 9 pounds of weight, but he's trying to bulk up a little bit, so he's walking around like 198 pounds now. Jack Della Maddalena obviously disagrees, but he thinks it's going to be an easy fight on the other end of the spectrum. Stoked that the UFC put their trust in me to save the division. This will be done in one, no doubt. JDM's first 4 victories in the UFC were all first-round stoppages. Since then, he had 2 decisions and a third-round victory in his last fight against Gilbert Burns with just over a minute left in the fight. Belal Muhammad has 1 KO loss, and that was to Vicente Luque, and that was in the first round, 1 minute and 19 seconds. Belal has 1 finish in his last 8 wins, so Topuria was wrong when he posted no finishes, no knockouts, no knockdowns, no girlfriend, no kids. Belal's never finished any man or woman.
I know you thought that was funny, but it's really not. Be a better person. Grow up.
Regarding Jack Della Maddalena's prediction of a first-round KO, Belal Muhammad says, just when I was going to donate to your fundraiser so your coaches can come, enjoy Spirit Airlines. JDM was supposed to have a fundraiser to bring his team from Australia to Montreal for the fight. It ended up getting canceled, though. Unfortunately, due to Jack's training commitments, the event will be postponed to after Jack's fight when he brings the strap home. It doesn't really make sense, though, if the fundraiser was to get the team to the championship fight, so having it after the fight doesn't really make sense, but it has been postponed. Magomed Ankalaev says, I'm feeling that Alex doesn't want the rematch after I agreed in August. Pereira says he's down to fight in August. I don't know why he wouldn't want to do that unless he's injured. If they do the rematch in August, that's just 5 months after the original fight, so don't know how much different the rematch would be. Ankalaev doesn't really have to change anything. He won the fight. Pereira just has to be more active. If he's more active, maybe he can win close rounds like round 3.
I will debate these sons of bitches, and I will make them look like fools because their knowledge is inferior. I base my confidence off of my knowledge. My knowledge comes from my research, and you're not going to just run through me on a damn show when I've done my knowledge, when I've done my research and I have my knowledge.
I know you think you're funny. I know you thought that was funny, but it's really not. Be a better person. Grow up.
Corey Sandhagen is taking on Figgy on May 3rd. But if he were to fight Merab, he would minimize excessive movement and keep the action in the middle of the octagon.
If I was Umar and I could refight that fight and I was him, because he was wrestling with him really good. Like, some of the defenses to the wrestling were just, like, amazing. Even just from, like, physically being able to be that flexible was crazy. I would say to him, I would say, hey, man, like, quit being so jumpy. Like, stand in the middle of the cage. When Merab backs you up, circle yourself back, get to the middle of the cage again, and then, like, don't run from him and, like, hit him when he comes in and make your movements a lot smaller because it is all of that footwork that really tires people out.
Another fight added to the UFC, May 31st fight night card at the UFC Apex. That card is headlined by Aaron Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. It also has Dustin Jacoby versus Bruno Lopez, Alan Nascimento versus Jafal Filio, and Zach Reese versus Dushko Todorovic. Zabit no longer fighting, but still training and helping other people train. He last fought in 2019 against Calvin Kattar, won a decision in that latest fight. Only got a hold of win over him is Igor Igorov. He retired 1 month after Zabit.
Between two UFC veterans, Ryan main event McDonald and Jonathan Brookins. Remember Jonathan Brookins? As he won the Ultimate Fighter and fought a who's who in the featherweight division at that time. 2 losses in the UFC came to Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier. 11th, the Grand Wayne Center, downtown Fort Wayne. The fight started at 6. You don't want to miss this. It's 2 UFC veterans, Ryan main event Mac versus Jonathan Brookins.
On this day in 2018, Tony Ferguson had to pull out of his fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov at UFC 223. Max Holloway stepped in to replace him on 6 days' notice. The fight ended up not happening, though Holloway was unfit to fight. It was supposed to be for the 155-pound title. A lot of people thought this was an April Fool's joke, Tony Ferguson tripping over a cord and getting injured and pulling out of the fight, but it ended up actually being real news, not fake news.
Tony Ferguson hurt himself. He tore his LCL, and apparently that's an injury that you don't need surgery on, but he actually tore it off the bone. He's going to need surgery on his knee. Well, the beautiful thing is we were able to pull together the champ at 145 pounds, Max Holloway, wants to step up, take this opportunity to fight Khabib for the 155-pound championship.
Chris Duncan celebrates his last 2 wins with a tattoo and Dustin Poirier quote.
What's happening, everybody? You should know me by now. My name's Chris the Problem Duncan. I'm back down at Rock and Roll Tattoo Studio, but this time I'm actually getting a tattoo for giving me a tattoo. So the tattoo I'm going to get today is going to represent my last 2 fights. So it symbolises my last 2 wins. Don't be silly, jump the gilly. I just want to say thanks to Don and the guys at Rock and Roll Tattoo Studio for getting me sorted.
So stand up, fight strong. We're breaking all night long.
What do you make of Josh Emmett? People want to change his nickname to the Fighting Falmer after Skyrim.
Say this again?
Josh Emmett, fans want to change his nickname to the Fighting Falmer based off of the Skyrim character.
The little deformed elf.
The Blind Goblin.
Why do they want to do that?
I guess they think he looks like a
Bears are ruthless, aren't they?
He seemed to appreciate it. It's like people on Reddit want him to change.
Yeah, I'm happy I got called Bobby Knuckles.
I made a mistake. I learned from my mistakes, and those things I learned from it, and the future is the future now, and the past is the past. You live and you learn. You live and you learn and you forget, I hope.